Hey guys, welcome back to Little Piece of Heaven Farm. My name's Farron. I'm in the house right now. I've got some potatoes here that are trying to grow. See a little eye right there. I cut this end off right here. See, starting to grow. And I've got a couple others here that I cut off a few days ago, and I just had them sitting in a bowl of water to keep them going. So I'm going to go ahead and take these outside and get them planted. Yeah, it is later than normal to plant your potatoes. I mean, I should have had them planted like in March. But you go ahead and get them planted anytime you want. You just get another harvest later on in the season. I mean, you could eat later on here, when winter shows up, I'm going to try growing some of these potatoes in the greenhouse and see if I get potatoes during the winter. Like last winter here, I had some success, but I'm going to give another shot, see if I could improve on that. So come over here and I'll show you where I'm going to plant these in the garden. And this is the area that I'm decided to plant them. I'm just going to plant them a few inches, and then as they grow, I'll just add more compost to it. Yeah, I got them down about 4 inches. Looks like I'm going to do. Bury them up. Okay, I'll give that a shot of water and we'll see what happens this year. All this right here are some beets that's gone to seed and some black Spanish radish that's going to seed. And I've been just pulling them out and feeding them to the chickens. And here's my shallots. They're doing good. They're probably ready for another shot of nitrogen that I do every other week. And here are some of the broccoli that I started in the greenhouse. They're looking good. Here's my dwarf peach. It's growing in a pot. So for those of you that don't have room to grow fruit trees, get a miniature. This is actually a miniature peach. I believe it's a bonanza. Yeah, just grow it in a pot. And some more of the shallots. And over here I got a Lodi apple tree. It is also grown in a pot. More of my shallots. I definitely have a lot of shallots. And there's my lettuce with the volunteer potato up there in the corner. So I've been eating salad. Some more shallots, some more volunteer potatoes. I gotta do a better job of plucking my potatoes out of the ground when it's time to harvest. And some more broccoli. Now these ones here, I've noticed these came up from seed. They were volunteers, because I let a couple of them go to seed last year, and they seem to be much bigger than those over there that I started in the greenhouse. So I'm just kind of wondering, maybe I should just sprinkle seeds out in the fall, let them overwinter. They seem to do a better job self-seeding. Anyhow, over here I've got some peas, some sugar snap peas, and some radishes, and of course the lemon balm. Here's my chives. That's what it looks like when it's in bloom. Yeah, this bunch here is blooming. This one is not. Kind of odd. There's my oregano. It's ready to be harvested and dried. And a whole bunch of black Spanish radish, self-seeded. Then up here in this section, I got my garlic. Doing quite well. And I did get my tomatoes planted here. You know, some of them even got some blooms on them. So they're doing quite well. And this one here is my black cherry tomato, doing very well. There's a volunteer potato. And this right here that's coming up is perpetual spinach. Basically it's in the Swiss chard family, and it does taste like spinach. Horseradish gone wild. More black Spanish radish. Sure, we got a lot of it. Here's the volunteer Swiss chard that I transplanted over here. And I've been plucking leaves off of that and having it in my salad. And my overwintering celery, doing quite well. More shallots. Those are just onions. I'm not sure what variety they are. This volunteer daisy. You got to be careful of this plant. This plant here can be very invasive. And more volunteer Swiss chard. Okay, let's go ahead and head into the greenhouse. Got a few things I'd like to show you in there. Make sure I get this gate here locked. We don't want anybody getting in the garden like deer. I'm going to plant corn here again this year. I did very well, grow it up and provided shade for the greenhouse so the greenhouse don't get super hot during the summer. Here's this banana tree. The babies on it last year that came up are doing very well. They're just growing like a weed. But the parent plant is apparently dying down. So I'm probably gonna need to cut this out so it's not wasting its energy trying to make that one live. So I have to remove that so it could force all its energy into its pups. And you see this year, there's a new pup right there. In theory, you could dig that out and transplant it, but I'm not gonna do that this year. I'm just gonna remove the parent and let these two grow. And hopefully we'll get some bananas off of these because we haven't gotten any bananas yet. Over here is our blood orange. It had tons of flowers on it. You know, as you can see, a lot of drops. And there are some blood oranges that actually took hold. And like you see, there's two there. Two in the back, I'm not too sure they're gonna take hold or not, but they're still there. Look how big these ones are though. Yeah, there's some over there. Got one there. There's a group there. And I believe, yeah, there you go. There's one right there. So, hopefully we'll get some blood orange off in this plant this year. Try it out. I mean, these ones, oh, there's two more over there. So far those ones are looking good. Is the biggest I've seen them get. Usually they get about so big and they fall off. But so far, those ones are staying on, so. And I did plant a tomato in the greenhouse. See if there's any difference in its growing habits. Coffee tree or plant. Pineapples. There's the pink lemonade tree. It's variegated. And I do got some lemons on there forming. There's one there. And one up there. Looks like there might be, well, the camera would focus on it. Looks like there might be one right there. So we're gonna get a few lemons off of that. And a few other little plants I got growing in here. This geranium here, I believe it's 4 or 5 years old. You know, if you keep it watered, care for it, it'll bloom in the greenhouse all winter long. It's a little slower growing in the greenhouse, especially in the winter, but it will bloom in the winter. It won't be this much blooms, but you might get a couple. Martha Washington geranium. And this plant here is also about 4 or 5 years old. I'm coming this fall during the winter when things slow down. I may dig this out and divide it because it's got a plant right here growing off the side and put them in separate pots. Not sure what kind of plant that is, but I had it a few years. I just bring it into the greenhouse and let it overwinter. Fuchsia, same thing. I just bring it in the greenhouse and let it overwinter. Got some buds forming down here. My other fuchsia that are overwinter. And this one here was just a bonus, and the begonia survived in the greenhouse. And there's some other begonias here that survived. And all those. This is some kind of variegated plant. I don't know the name of it, but it's blooming. It's technically a house plant, but ever since I stuck it out here, it has really taken off. It's probably got 10 times the amount of leaves, probably 10 times the amount of flowers on it. See if I get this one up here. See, they'll have red in the center. Very pretty. Okay, first off, before I start cutting this down, I'm gonna go ahead and kind of ruffle up the surface here. Kind of ruffle it up. Get rid of that little so-called hard pan. So when you water it, water would sink in there a lot easier. They say that you just cut this up and just lay them underneath it like that to provide all the nutrients back into the soil. Plus it'll help keep the soil moist. So that's what I'm going to do here. there you go. Got the parent cut off, chopped up, throw it, leave it on the bottom here, so all the nutrition from these go right back into the soil. It also helps keep the soil moist. And these are the last year's pups. They're growing up, getting big. Hopefully they'll have bananas on it this year. And here's this year's pups. 1, 2, 3. That next year they'll grow up and produce bananas. So, yeah, well, let's see if that's what happens. Okay, I'm outside of my greenhouse on the north side. I thought I'd come out here and show you these golden chain trees. These are all volunteers. Obviously, they didn't volunteer in this spot. I dug them up, moved them here along the north side of the greenhouse. Yes, I do got windows right there, but they're mainly for ventilation. But there they are. Volunteer golden chain trees. Doing quite well. Well, anyhow, I think this is where I'm going to end the video. And thanks for stopping by and checking out the garden. I know it's been a while since I put a video out, but I've been busy doing all that ice storm cleanup. So anyhow, I'll catch you guys on the next one. Bye.